I think men truly don't value a kitty as much as they should.
They don't.
I want to go to the planet of really hot lesbians and rule worlds as long as you got a dick. Like, this is how you'll live your life to be successful. Well,
Yes.
I made 6 figures. I've been married. I had my house. I had everything the world says.
Yes.
This is you to be successful. And it almost killed me.
Yeah. Welcome to unMASCed. Today we have a wonderful guest. Please welcome Hannah. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
I love it. What?
I was just going to say, it's sunny, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful.
It's sunny and gorgeous and beautiful. Just like you.
Oh, thank you.
Paula's obsessed with you.
Yeah.
Which is so good because like she's really picky with energy. So you have good energy.
I feel blessed.
Yes.
But dog energy is my favorite energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I was an animal, I would be a dog.
You would come back as a dog?
I'd be a doodle for sure.
Oh yeah. And
so
you have a doodle too.
Oh my god. I have 2 doodles. Yes. I'd be playful till old age.
Do you believe in like reincarnation?
Sure. I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
I think there's part of me that's like, also, you know what? One and done.
Yeah.
Fair. This was
one
was enough. I'd look at the crazy of the world. I'm like, you know what? I want to go to a place of less of these people in the world. But I like the idea of reincarnation. I want to go to the planet of really hot lesbians and just be there the entire time, where everybody's nice and we all like to make things and cook and sit on a beach.
Yes.
And
have you heard of the Greek island Sappho's?
Yes.
Do you want to go?
That sounds like fucking paradise.
It does, right?
Yes.
I know a girl, Kayla. Hi, Kayla, if you're watching. She got a place. Like she went, like she was just like last year. She's like, I'm just gonna like fucking go to Europe. Fuck this. Like I'm over like North America. And so she went, and then she went to Sappho's and she loved it. So she ended up getting a place there, and now she's going back. She always tells me, she's like, why don't you just come? Yeah. I'm like,
it's not really like an island of.
No, she's like, it's lesbian everywhere.
Really?
Yes. She's like, it's lesbian central.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought that was just sort of like, that's the name, and it derived, like all our words sort of derived from that out of kind of like Greek mythology.
It is, but they actually, like, a lot of lesbians go there or settle there.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, it's great. Like, she's like, all we do is just
after
lesbian
the show,
shit.
buying a ticket. And rule worlds as long as you got a deck.
Well,
yeah.
That's unfortunate. It should be the opposite.
It is truly the opposite. It's a myth.
Yeah.
But boys believe it.
Yeah, boys believe it, and look at the world.
Yeah.
I feel like if
look how much better I'm doing without this stupid thing.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what penises do well?
What?
Make wonderful vaginas. Designer kitty,
as
we were just talking about. And they function. They do everything the same.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
And there you go.
But yeah, like the first while, it's a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
Your first month is a bit of work because you have the surgical site down there and you have to dilate.
Yeah.
So it comes down to like how much donor material you have.
Oh.
So sometimes size can matter, but it doesn't matter that much either.
Okay.
Because they can always take grafts if need be.
Yes.
And I think some surgeons may, like if you go to Thailand, you may be able to get a little bit more. Like, this is how pretty I want it to look.
Yes.
But generally, I think most surgeons have like their own aesthetic.
Gotcha.
They are, they're like flowers. They're beautiful.
I love that
they
analogy.
Smell nice even when they don't smell nice.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think men truly don't value a kitty as much as they should. Like,
they don't.
I've spent most of my life around men, and sometimes I'm like, are you sure you're attracted? Are you sure you're attracted to women? Because the way you talk about women,
it's like degrade. It's like very degrading.
Yes. And just like it's a product. I'm like, but you should glorify this. Your sex should last for hours.
Why
would you want your sex to last like 30 seconds?
Yeah, they're like, I just want to nut and go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Ridiculous. Like the sex I've had as where it lasts for 3-4 hours, or you go to bed and you wake up and you're like, hey, this is the way it should be.
Yes.
I don't ever want to wake up.
Like a whole like weekend marathon. Yes. Men are weird. Absolutely. But
sorry, any men who watch.
There are some good allies out there.
Trans men rock.
Trans men are great.
Totally different breed of awesome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love bi man. Like a good bi man.
Yes, of course.
Like we love a bi man, you know? A little bit about your journey.
So as a child of the 70s and 80s. So I was born in the late 70s. I'm 49 in a month.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look great.
Yeah.
So you're going to be 49?
I know.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I thought you were in your 30s like me.
I never had language. I didn't have understanding. I was raised kind of Ontario and Vancouver area. And even though there's like queer communities, I also grew up in like a church family. I wasn't hyper conservative. I would say evangelical, but Dutch background. It's still sort of anything LGBTQ, still obviously of the devil and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
I relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Idea of thinking that I was anything other than what I would see in the mirror.
Yeah.
And what people would tell me, you can't look like a boy, got the boy gear.
Yeah.
I like some boy things.
It was the norm that was kind of put out there. Exactly.
It's the only choice you have, and every checkbox sort of says, well, everything else is boy. So around 3 or 4, I know I had sort of this incongruence. Then around age 7 and 8, I started playing around with like my mom's clothes that she would have in like the stuff she
closet.
Just wouldn't get rid of, and is sort of in like a junk drawer in her basement. And again, didn't really think much of it, but I knew like this stuff you do not talk about.
Yeah.
So you do it on
the inside. Yes. Sneaky.
But it just made me feel more closer to who I was. And again, I think that's something people misunderstand, why clothing.
Yeah.
But often that's the closest sort of material thing you can do to bring a sense of the other into your life that just is easy. It's easy to hide.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, kind of cross-dressing becomes very prevalent in the trans women world, because wearing women's clothing is very frowned upon, whereas I think girls, especially in the last half century, always got away with it a little bit more.
Yes.
So then that was sort of those sort of playing things. Again, didn't think anything of it as a kid. I didn't think I was a girl per se. There was just stuff that I just kind of had to feed every so often for my soul and myself. But then when puberty hit, I think I was around grade 6, 7 when it started.
And you're like 10, 11. I think at that age, right? Yeah.
And I think it just started introducing itself. And I just started longing more for things, again, colors, and the friendships I was noticing were diverging. And I really noticed this in elementary school, grade 1.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden having friends that were girls are really not encouraged. And, so my
you have to be in the sports. You have to do all of that.
Oh my God. And it was like, I went to a Christian school and Christian high school, Christian university.
Oh my goodness.
All of it. All of this sort of gendered.
Yes. The heteronormativity. Yeah.
Then, so all I know is my identity just went into like crisis mode.
Got you.
And never went away.
Okay.
So it started, the anxiety, the stress started building up. I started then realizing that my body, as it was changing, was just the absolute worst thing.
Yeah.
But again, no language, no one you can go to
no
talk
resources,
about this, no resources, no visibility.
And there wasn't really like, there wasn't Instagram, there wasn't no internet.
Nothing. This is late 80s, early 90s. So my coping, like a lot of trans people, just becomes cross-dressing if you can.
Yeah.
Just to feel like you're the person you are.
Yeah. And you would do that in private still.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for me, very quickly, sort of that performance became more painful than just being myself. Looked like I was a boy wearing women's clothes, which then just made me feel even grosser about who I was. All the shame, all the disgust.
Yeah.
So when I got to university, I started living alone. So I moved to Edmonton to go to university. And that sort of freedom gave me a lot of ability to just have my own time. And I think having ADHD also played into a lot of this. You're also masking that as well.
So much masking. Yes.
I was also, I don't want to.
We're unmasked today. We're unmasking all of it.
And honestly, even, and this may sound ridiculous, but even I'm a left-hander as well. So even that sort of extra thing, just you're always playing in other people's worlds.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And so anyways, fast forward, doing life, adult life, coping. I get married. I had absolutely amazing.
Wait, what?
Marriage for 15 years.
What? Yes. I didn't know this.
Yeah, Did you? Married for 15 years to absolutely amazing lady. Yes. Yeah. So, so we separated after this, but we're still the best of friends, which
that's
is
good.
epic.
That's why the relationship was like.
Yes. And that's why I like doing my relationships and friendships is if things grow apart.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Like
things can come to an end in a healthy way. I feel like more people
should.
Take notes, people. It doesn't need to be toxic, doesn't need to be absolutely insane. Like, please. Okay.
Yeah, like if you get toxic, you've been in your relationship too long.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exit early, be joyful as you leave, celebrate each other, be friends. Even if you had passionate, crazy love, let it end in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
We live in a culture that says, no, you have to wait until you're about to kill each other.
Yes.
Then separate, and you must hate each other for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Years was highly stressful. So I was a business agent for a large multi-sector union in Canada, and I was doing a lot of hyper masculine trades that I was representing.
Yeah.
So performance was like at severe maximum.
Yeah, because you almost felt like you had to.
Like I had to be the guy.
Yeah.
And I looked like a guy. People thought I was a footballer. People thought I was a hockey player. I was none of those. But it helped.
Yeah.
Like I got, I knew I was attractive. I knew I had all those things, but it meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't care if I'm a good looking guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a good looking because I'm not that.
Yeah.
And so like I knew at this point. So really since that adolescence age, like I knew I was supposed to be a girl.
Yeah.
Like my body, like I didn't have the language or the understanding of the biology, understanding that, my body was divergent. Some things went boy, some things went girl, and we're all a mishmash of it anyways. Yeah. Mine was just heavy enough on one side where it was really painful. Yeah. And so I had major health breakdown a little over 4 years ago. When I get my therapist, I am going to share everything.
Okay. That's great.
Except for this. Because obviously this does not play a part in why I'm having a breakdown or struggling.
Okay.
Clearly it's work. Clearly it's life.
Got you.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm seek and destroy a little bit when I need to do something.
Okay.
I didn't think I would be this way with my healing and my healing journey.
Seek and destroy. What do you mean by that?
Where's the wall that I have the barrier, the
Got
mask?
you, and break it down.
Let's find a healthy way of destroying it.
I love that though.
Yes.
That's great.
Because
that's brave.
Well, so many people
you do the work.
Like, I'm just going to take this brick away.
Yes.
I'm going to sit for 6 years before I take another one.
Correct.
Because it's terrifying.
Yes.
For me, I don't like being on this side of a wall that's preventing me from a joyful life.
Yes.
I know I'm going to have to deal with trauma.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to have to make some deep challenges.
You have to do the work. And
I want to be there.
Yeah, you can see that you take one break, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, fucking break down the wall. Yes.
I encourage you. Trauma and sitting in the places, it's so hard.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Yes.
Anyone can do it. And it's so much nicer healing and dealing with those brutal truths about oneself and maybe what you've gone through, which is you don't deserve it.
Yep.
It's not yours to own, but it's part of your story.
Yeah.
And I was already starting to tell my therapist things about this other side of me.
Yes.
And so I was telling him this, but then away from therapy, I was like doing my homework, dissecting this.
Yep.
How would I be able to survive
yes.
going through it? So I was thinking, maybe in the bedroom, my wife and I, we do a little bit of, cosplay, role play, and I get to be a bit of the girl.
Yes.
And, my wife at the time was sort of like, okay, let's explore
this. Let's try it. Yeah.
And I think almost instantly, because, trans people do, especially when you're this age, you've tried everything to make the pain go away.
Yeah.
You've tried to be the manest man.
Yeah.
You've tried coping mechanisms to make the girliness sort of be dealt with.
Yeah.
None of it worked. So I knew this wasn't going to work.
Yeah. But you're like, let's try it. Yeah.
Then April 8th, April 9th, midnight, I end up having a second major breakdown. 2021. It's the same, literally months after I had my first one. And I just broke down and told my wife everything.
Okay.
And
how did that feel?
It was insane because I never thought I would tell a soul. But I wanted to tell my wife, Jessica at the time, this is the one secret I've been hiding from you.
Yes.
The only one. And just having that off my chest was huge.
I can imagine because you actually said it to someone, not just yourself.
Yes.
It wasn't just in the brain. You actually verbalized it to someone else.
And she accepted me.
Love that.
Awesomely.
Love that.
Next day, ADHD kicks in.
Yeah.
hyper researching everything.
Yes.
Oh, this is gender dysphoria that I have. And all of a sudden the validation, the permissions to sort of understand myself started clicking together. I ended up telling my parents the next day over FaceTime.
Oh my goodness.
Parents were like, because if you go on my Instagram, you see my former pictures of me. I don't look like somebody who like, yeah, well, we always knew, Joel.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
Like
it was more like, of a
what the hell?
Yeah.
And my mom's like, why would you ever want to be a woman? And I was like, not that I want to be. It's just there is a part of me that clearly, and it seems to be a pretty significant part of me, says that the way I've been living my life is just very wrong. And I think within the next few weeks, I told my closest friends, other family.
So
this is the way I work. Like, I wasn't planning on any of this, but like once I have a secret and people are like, hey, that's cool.
But it just makes you feel like, I don't know, for me saying it was like, yes,
I need to tell everyone now.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like it, like, fuck you.
That's it. Fuck you. Goodbye. Out of my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so.
And you see who's really in your corner and who's not.
Holy shit. And I'm going to tell you, there is almost no one from my former life except my family and a few friends that have carried through.
Yeah. But those are the real ones.
Those are the real ones.
And like the trash takes themselves out.
Exactly. And I do not miss that.
No.
Like, I miss that they aren't getting to see this person that truly is feeling joy.
But that's their loss.
Yes.
That's their loss.
I don't need that in my life. Thank you very much.
Period.
I'm happy.
Period.
Most of the time.
Yes.
So.
Because you're living authentically. Like, there's like a joy to that that's attached to that, where you're like, I'm not hiding anymore.
Well, and also, like, I'm going to be a little self-glorifying here.
Go for it, as you should.
The pictures I had of me before.
Yes.
Okay, now I can appreciate, I was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever would have said that before because I didn't care.
Yeah.
Now I can see it as, I see that because I know it wasn't me. To change, to have that turn into what I like is pretty amazing, honestly. But I was telling family and friends, like I have gender dysphoria, but I'm not going to get a fucking sex change. I'm not like a weirdo, right? And
gotcha. So it was like you came out a little bit, but you're still like
I'm not going to.
You were just like
anything.
you kind of
because I still had all the stigma of these deviants in my head, right?
Correct.
I get one of those.
Yeah.
I just went on the internet. And all of a sudden I seen what transitions mean, and I was like, oh my god, there's actually help for this. And this isn't just some weird people getting boob jobs and some weird surgeries. This is actually
life-changing stuff.
And it's actually like the HRT, the hormones, actually, it changes your biology. You actually kind of go through this, what we say, this other puberty.
Yeah.
And so you actually get these natural changes too. And for me, it was like, okay, accepting that trans identity was its own beautiful thing, right? I wasn't going to become a cisgender woman.
Yeah.
I was going to, just be a trans woman, which was starting to actually sort of be beautiful because I saw these other beautiful humans, men, women, non-binary people, whatever, gender fluid, and go. And it's been not quite 4 years, but
amazing.
It has
That's
been
an amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So wonderful. It's so beautiful to see and like hear your story. And like,
so for me to choose transition was also a very conscious choice of choosing life. Like, you know what? This is the only path that I know that has success. Every other path has sort of been tried and failed. So I'm going to try this as a last ditch effort. But you're doing it with so much joy and hope because this is the only one that actually has hope and joy built into it. All the other ones are all the worst expectations that the world says you should do instead. And they don't work ever. And so going down this path, so it was also saying, yes, I'm going to choose life, but also, trigger warning, choosing life at that junction of saying, I'm going to transition. I'm going to choose that as my path to my future means the other choice you're not taking.
Got you.
But as you go through the journey, for me, it served as a safety net. Like if things didn't work out, that choice I could have made, I can still always make it. But I want to see how far this journey can take me. I want to see if this joy is real. If life doesn't have to be this tragic existence of suffering, whether it's culturally expected, whether it's religiously expected. Oh my gosh.
The pressures that society like put out onto people in general, like it's crazy.
Like, this is how you'll live your life to be successful. Well, I made 6 figures. I've been married. I had my house. I had everything the world says. This is you to be successful. And it almost killed me.
People struggle with finding community. And I think it's so important to have community. Where and how do you recommend finding community or support or resources for people that are thinking or questioning their gender identity or beginning their transition in general?
I think awesome question. And I don't, a bit of my worry is I have been lucky that, you know, through support, through financial means, because I had good work and good benefits. It just happened to come out at a time when Instagram visibility was really sort of booming during COVID. So I don't know how much my story will translate for others. Finding good community for me, like it was COVID, so that also played a bit of a role. But I think it's a good sort of gateway entrance. Start with the social media, right? Find out your community, what's available to you. So I've exited Facebook, Threads, and a number of those, but I do know like Facebook still tends to be where a lot of queer clubs, queer networks, things like PFlag, other clinics that are gender affirming or queer affirming often have support groups. Again, like my neurodivergence kicked in and I was doing it all. So went on to Reddit. That's where I found like a lot of information that helped, you know, find community, people like me, similar timelines, get an idea of what, you know, is the best hormone procedures, what surgeries, what they look like. Like it's just a data clearinghouse of awesomeness. And so Reddit was a big one for me to start. Then Instagram kind of is where I started finding like online community. And then I did a number of support groups locally through, so I lived in Hamilton at the time. And so I did a couple support groups through there, through PFlag, as well as Compass Health, Quest out of St. Catharines. And they were just amazing because then you start to get to know some local people. And so then that started. But I would honestly, Instagram was the biggest thing. Because then I can find out what things were happening primarily for me in Toronto.
Like what events, what's
because I want to be around a lot of people. And so the privilege is having a big city around, you know, and Hamilton also being a big city, but
and very queer friendly city, Hamilton.
It's very
I know so many lesbians up in Hamilton.
Oh well, that's because everyone's moved there, so because it was so much
you
cheaper.
Go there and you all the time. I'm like, go on Instagram, put in what your like fun creative outlet is, and just put queer in front of it, and then you're gonna find like all of these queer clubs that are there. Queer knitting,
queer
pickleball, like
my god, pickleball, in the lesbian community especially.
It's crazy. So you just go there and then you just find it, and then you find your people through there, and then they'll bring you to like something else, and it's kind of like a ripple effect.
It's amazing. And you can start finding your niche too. And I think as a trans person, right, for me, I started gravitating to the trans community at first because those were my people. Then I started finding myself like, you know, but I think where I am, like who I am, I started finding more home in more of the lesbian world. But so you can even sort of choose those directions and sort of saying, okay, who are my people? Which ones sort of speak the language of where I am? And I'd say for friends and community, I find, I guess, more the sapphic world, more my people, and the work I want to do, probably a little bit more in the trans, maybe just generally queer, marginalized people in general kind of community. And I think that's about, and the biggest thing, be ready to be uncomfortable. That's the biggest one, is challenge yourself. I think, for me, I was like, I never got this life as a teenager. And I don't want to be, you know, that person that's just annoying because they're trying to be, you know, they're acting like a 13-year-old and they're 48. But at the same time, give yourself some grace and be that person too.
Enjoy it. Live your life. Live your life.
So what I'm seeking now is sort of, how can I expand, you know, kind of through transition now, so I have capacity for life. So now I'm sort of trying to find a way of being, finding this path.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can do anything I want.
You can do whatever. Yes.
Like, what do I want to do?
What do you want to do? You have to try it all.
Right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's kind of scary. There's like, I break through these clouds into the sunshine.
Yeah.
And the thunderstorm below, and I'm
Yeah.
no longer part of that. And it's, oh, this is amazing.
I know.
It's beautiful. But now what the fuck do I
Isn't that
do?
like, it's kind of the way I think of it is like, okay, like we went through that like for me, it's like a second puberty when I came out, right?
Yes,
you kind of said
Very
similar.
sure.
But now I feel like I'm in my young 20s again, where it's like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, what goal? You know what I mean? It's so refreshing if you think, like, scary, absolutely.
Terrified, because you still have to put food on the table.
You still have to, you know, it's not like you have, like, you know, I grew up with my mom and dad, and I was living at home, like, oh, I still need to provide for myself. Right, yes. But I'm like, the world's my oyster. Like, what the fuck do I want to do?
Well, and that's what I told myself. Yeah. I had a great paying job at all those, again, all those culturally, societally successful things.
Yeah.
And I did it as a performance.
Correct.
If I could do it that way, then I can find whatever it is I'm good at or want to do as me a million times better.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
we're rock stars.
We are rock stars.
Yeah. For them, the story started of Hannah September 11 or April 11th of 2021. For me, it started when I was a child. And but only I got to know that story. Yeah. It was a really freaking lonely life.
Yes.
Because none of me, the world, got to know. I didn't even get to know myself, except for the parts I allowed myself to share with myself.
Yeah.
And so I want our language to reflect, especially for my journey, that.
Yeah.
So let's just say I have one foundational truth, and that is who I am.
Period.
Of which I am still discovering.
Yeah.
Never, not for a million, billion, anythings, ever put myself back in that cis het world.
Yeah.
I would never plug myself back in the matrix. Curiosity and uncertainty. I want to know more, and I know I don't know anything. But the more I get to know about people, and it's unlimited.
Unlimited. Future is unlimited. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I had to, but like, that's the ADHD.
Oh, is that?
Intrusive. It was from Wicked.
Oh, that's okay. I haven't seen that movie yet. But when it's on a streaming service, that is like the first
one. Oh my gosh, yes. And like braver than a lot of fucking people.
I think we're fucking warriors.
You are.
Yeah.
You know, and
look at the shit we have to overcome.
Like, yeah, but I think like we wouldn't be here if it weren't for trans women and their bravery.
Queer women,
like,
for sure.
Especially, like, we would not. So yeah, it's time for us to fucking protect trans women. Thank you so much.
We will 100% be there for you.
Absolutely.
As we always have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So. Welcome back to unMASCed. We are doing a little segment called Transcending Myths, where I'm going to say myths that trolls comment on our social media videos saying, and Hannah's going to break those myths.
As best I can.
As best you can. I'm going to say it in my douchey troll voice.
Okay.
Okay? Trans women aren't real women.
Oh, the amount of times this question comes up.
Yeah.
And they always think this is going to like some gotcha. Oh my God. Yeah. So I think, trans women are real women.
Yes, they are. Trans women. Let's say that together.
Trans women are real women. And yeah, I think just to assume you're born with a vagina, you're born with a dick, man, woman, done. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We are living creatures. It takes an incredible amount to create a human body. Mm-hmm. And that shit just doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
Nothing does. It's the beauty of creation. Nature here is a hodgepodge of things. Hodgepodge. Because there is no right. There's no one ever in the universe of this planet. Is that a thing? Great.
It is now.
Great verbiage.
The
universe of this planet
yeah.
Has ever born pure male or pure female
yeah.
or pure hetero or pure this.
Yeah.
Right. We are just a mix of an ever evolving species.
Yeah.
And transness is just an existence where in some cases the biology is a little bit more blended, in which it causes some severe distress or some distress of sorts in which the person knows they're not aligned. So I am 100% a woman. Am I a cisgender woman? No. I'm a trans woman, and that's a human category that we feel we need as humans to label each other. We've had plenty of civilizations and cultures in the past in which that has been well recognized.
For hundreds, thousands of years.
Like just yep, that person clearly knows who they are better than I am. I don't understand it perchance, but I don't understand how gravity necessarily works and the mechanics of that. I can just accept that it's real. And that's the same with this. Yeah, if using our Western language, I am a trans woman. I know that's a distinction from how someone who's just born with the congruence right away, and but that's the thing. Even a cis person figures out. You know if you're comfortable in your body because you don't have to fight it. I knew I was incongruent to my body because I just happened every day to fight it. My body was just always sending out warning signals and alarms. Something is wrong, and it won't shut up until you find a way to fix it.
Trans people transition for attention. Sorry.
That was so well done.
Thank you.
Do we do this for attention? I do it for my own, like for that peace of mind. Absolutely. And that certainly gets my attention because it's sort of nice to love myself and focus my attention on myself for once.
Absolutely.
But this is, I don't know, this would be a pretty messed up way of doing it. Like bullying, harassment, a high degree of being murdered, sexual assault. Like the hazards for getting this attention just seems so astronomically ludicrous. It seems a little crazy. Like there are other dangerous things we could do that people just seem to resonate more strongly with. Like maybe I should be a stunt person, or I'll jump out of an airplane and pull my parachute 50 feet from the ground. Like there's other ways in which I can sort of risk harm that people will be like, that's cool. That gets my attention. This just seems a little asimine, especially to this is the people transitioning is joyful because of that foundation you find with yourself. Right? Kind of talking a little while back of just finding that truth and that kernel of truth about oneself. That's the joy. But the process for it with this whole world, especially what we're seeing now, particularly of the US and UK with transphobia, like, my God, I enjoy being trans because I love who I am, and I love the beauty of what we could be in a world that wasn't so full of this idiocy. It is not fun being trans because of the way the world makes it. Like it's only hard being trans because of the world. And sometimes, it can be exceptionally painful and stuff, but hey, you give me the access to healthcare at a good age, which is, whenever that person needs it, which may be in their youth. I could have just an absolutely glory-filled life where I could have been a lot more of an asset. But definitely not for attention. That's for sure.
Thank you. This was Transcending Myths with Hannah.
I like that.
It was good. Yeah.
I'm happy to break and bust that
Absolutely. Shit. Period. We end every episode of unMASCed with a game because I love playing games.
Me too.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So we are playing one of the favorite games on unMASCed, which is this or that.
Okay.
So it is going to be rapid fire. I'm going to give you two options and you have to pick.
Okay.
This or that.
Do I have to explain it, or we're just picking?
It's just picking.
Okay.
Bold glam or natural glam?
Natural glam.
Coffee or cocktails?
Coffee all the time.
Heels or sneakers?
I love the concept of heels, but sneakers 100% of the time.
Same. Karaoke or games night?
Games night.
Madonna or Gaga?
I'm gonna say Gaga.
Yeah, Mother.
Yeah.
Would you travel to the past or the future?
100% the future.
Me too.
Yeah.
Queer nightlife or a cozy night in?
If we're saying most of the time, cozy night in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brunch or dinner?
Brunch.
Beach or city? I know.
I'm going to say city, actually, but that's a hard
It is a hard one.
I love the beach.
I know, me too. Would you rather be invisible or read people's minds?
Invisible. I don't want to know people's heads. That's scary. Mine is hard enough.
A Netflix binge or a YouTube deep dive?
I'm going to do a YouTube deep dive.
Okay. Yeah. I might know the answer to this, but a book or a movie?
But I love movies.
Me too. All right. TikTok or Instagram?
I have never joined TikTok
yet.
Yeah.
Get on TikTok.
I know, but now I feel like a late bloomer to
That's fine.
But I am Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
all right.
Okay. There's part of me now that's...
Do it. Why not?
Why not? TikTok thing.
A reality TV show or a documentary?
I'm going to sound so lame, but a documentary.
Me too. I love a good doc. All right. L Word or Drag Race?
Oh my God. I love L Word.
Yeah, I know you do. Okay. This one, there's only one. Actually, this is really hard because they're both right answers. Cher or Dolly Parton?
I'm going to have to say Dolly Parton. Pretty quick, but you're right. Both are icons.
Both are right. Cher is mine, but Beyonce or Rihanna?
I like that badass energy of Rihanna because she's a little dirty.
Yes.
But Beyonce probably speaks more to me.
Fair.
Yeah. I love her
Team
voice.
Riri. Yeah. Wing liner or bold lipstick?
I'm going to say wing eyeliner because that's the one bit of makeup that I have not been able to do. I want to get my eyeliner. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll do your liner before you go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Promise?
Promise. A musical or a blockbuster?
I'm going to probably do blockbuster more, but I love a good musical.
I love a good musical. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
I had such a great time.
I'm glad I got to bug you.
Oh, I'm so glad that I got to bug you too.
Because I was like, I need to say hi to you.
Yes.
And then you invited me and I was like, oh my God, I feel so blessed.
Yes.
No, thank you.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Yay. Amazing. So where do people find you?
So right now, really only on Instagram.
All
so
right.
I've shredded some of my other things because I was like evil Zuckerberg and all these other social media clowns.
Yep.
But I am still on Insta at Hannah with an H at the end. J Campoff.
Love it.
Which
I will tag it. It will be in the comment, the description.
Yeah, because spelling my last name, people always get it wrong. Yeah. And that's it. Maybe I'll do a TikTok.
I think you should.
Maybe a YouTube. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm reaching for the stars.
I love it.
Make me famous, world.